said, bring you some tablets and we'll start over, But, what I get out of this is that thou mayest teach them. It's still today, we need to teach his commandments. That's still today, we stand here, these early birds that go to Sunday school. We're trying to get a nugget, trying to learn a little more. Thou mayest teach them. It says that Moses rose up, and his minister Joshua, and Moses went up to the Mount of God. That minister Joshua, I was looking on the, what's it called? Strong's Concordance. Minister, servant. It's a servant, or to wanton, a worshiper. It's just an assistant. That's who Joshua is. You could see Moses, God, they're using Joshua, they're setting him up. He's going to be the leader one day. And Joshua is following, ministering unto Moses. Right, he's in training. He's in Sunday school.
Can I, you'd said that we still need to be teaching this, and it's kind of funny how, I don't mean to interrupt your Bible study, but I was doing some reading and studying a little bit, not much. And some of the scriptures that show that we need to carry along the law of God, and how that people say, well, these books that Paul wrote and so on and so forth, they need to be in Sunday school. I guess where I'm going at is these words that are in our book needs to be carried with us. Daniel, that's why there were several scriptures we ran across yesterday saying that they had those letters with them. They had the books with them. And so Daniel says, this is Daniel's prayer for his people. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they may not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him, and he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil, for under the whole heaven hath not been done as he hath been done upon Israel. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us, yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our God, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. See, that's Daniel's trying to tell the people while he's in captivity. We need to obey the law. We need to obey the law of God. The words have been spoken. We've got the transcripts of these words. We need to keep them with us. We need to read them. And there's Timothy, it talks about it. There's several scriptures that go along with this. That I believe it was Jeremiah talks about words. Isaiah says, seek out the book of the Lord and read. All these people that was in captivity, and I'll let you go here in a second, all these people that were in captivity had the directions how to live for God. And then these evil things wouldn't come upon us. So, anyways, I'll show you.
I read that a few weeks ago about Josiah. They have been tortured, aggravated. They did evil in the sight of the Lord. Josiah takes over at 8 years old. I believe when he was 18, they were cleaning out the bottom of the temple, trying to scrape some money together.
And found
the book.
Yep.
What was it? His grandfather was 55 years. He did evil. Then his son, his dad, Josiah's son, only lasted 57 years. They hadn't had a word. The priest and the scribe found it. And the scribe wasn't scribing and the priest wasn't doing any priest work. They didn't have the book, for 50-some years.
And I think that's why, when, I don't know, who knows what the answer is, why church attendance is down. But go to the churches around here and see, I'm just saying, and see what they teach. There's churches in our local, within 5 miles of us right now, that on Wednesday night, they teach a Rick Warren book, or they teach a Charles Stanley book, or they teach, not that those guys are bad people, but what are they? The Bible. The Bible.
It's good for individuals.
It is.
If you want to read upon.
But then you see, church attendance are up in those places. Because there's no condemnation in it. Everything's purpose-driven life, purpose-driven church. And there's nothing wrong with those type of books. Don't get me wrong.
Rick Warren, he's Satan. He's an antichrist. Just cut to the chase. We don't follow man. We follow man Jesus from the book. The book is written. It is written. It's closed. There's no more adding to it or taking away from it. The Bible warns that in the book of Revelation. We don't add, we don't take away. We read, study, and follow. I've been reading a book about people from Kentucky and West Virginia, how they migrated to Ohio, in the 50s for work. My parents did it, I did it, and it's given me, this guy's telling about his family did it out of Kentucky, from I think Jackson, Kentucky, and reading through it, they had no God. They had all kinds of turmoil and just chaos in their life because they had no God. About halfway through the book now he went back, and his mother's family had ridiculed his dad because he moved back to Kentucky, remarried, and was going to church. And he was a pagan, church. But when he went back to visit his dad, I think 11 or 12, 13 years old, he found out his dad was a good guy. His dad explained to him about God. They explained to him about the rapture. They explained to him about in the book of Revelation. They were teaching him God's law, and he come to the conclusion: Christians, they live longer. They live better, they have less medical problems, they have less headaches. We have trials, but when we hear about some of the people, the people on the outside that never go to church, never have a God, they have, you can just hear all kinds of horrific stories, with the chaos in their lives, because they're not following God's commandments. It's people, what do we want? We want, we should want a woman or a man if you're a woman, family, life, together, peace, and we want to go to heaven. That's the end game, man. That's the end game. That's our goal, is to follow God. And, we saw a commercial this morning about, was it gambling? I looked at Diane and I said, what would your mom say about that? No, it's too late now. I'm going home. Don't gamble with your life. Gamble. We don't gamble. We're Christians. We should know better than that. Gambling seen that from a saint. You know, that was a witness for me, you know, an elderly saint, you know. No one's going to see her over in a nursing home going down there, but she knew it. And she knew God would see it. So that was a great witness for me. You know, we need witnesses. You know, we need, you know, our family of God, you know, our communion with each other. So we go out into the world, we got another, 140 some hours outside the doors before we get back in here.
I like what the writer says here. He says that Moses understood the need for human help and encouragement. The Lord provides His Word to teach us and the Holy Spirit to empower us, but He also provides fellow believers to help us, to challenge us, to encourage us, and hold us accountable. And this is why it's imperative that we make our fellowship in the local church a priority.
Ouch.
And it, amen.
People
Amen.
don't want to hear that.
It helps me. I mean, it
Right.
helps me.
Amen. You know, we need that. We need that. And that's how we learn, we stay focused. People can't fight the pillow to get up and come to Sunday school. They're missing. I mean, you're missing.
Like I said,
That little nugget. We may get one nugget out of this.
Something that you learn.
That you may teach them, you know, that nugget.
We have a great duty, though.
We do. It's not we look at, you know, we have to be obedient, you know, like, there's nowhere in the book that says we have to come to Sunday school. I mean, that's a fact. There's none. You know, Sunday school has been founded, it's been tried, it's true, it's good for us, and what is it, an hour? We can't give up an hour. Church usually is what, an hour and a half? Some, you know, if they get a little long, it won't let my people go now.
I hear it.
Yeah.
We'll start next week, won't we, Josh?
Yeah.
Don't plan on it today, just start.
But it's not a lot. It's not, when you look at the big picture, the requirement is not a lot. You know, a couple, 2 to 3 hours a week is not a lot. You know, and you got Wednesday, an hour, it's not burdensome. It's not, you know, gosh, I just can't do that. You know, no, it's not it's not, the yoke is not heavy. Jesus said, my yoke is not heavy. You know, it's not burdensome. You know, I mean, when the COVID was first struck, and you're getting a few things done around the house, but then you look out the window, like now, what? You know, it's time to go back to church. It's time to do what's right.
I was watching today, before we come down here, Israel and Sudan was in
Peace agreement.
they're entering into that peace agreement thing too. And they're pushing all these countries to.
Well, the president said there's like 5 or 6 more, you know, of Saudi Arabia. Is that not lining up what the Bible says?
Yeah.
Israel will be at peace. Everything will be at peace. The Bible says what? They'll take down their gates.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be at peace. When the Antichrist.
Beat their swords into plowshares.
When the Antichrist comes. So it's all good, but it's all working.
It's all good, but glad they're just working on it.
And you know, Diana was talking about, you know, with the masks and the COVID shutdown, how, you know, we're just so obedient. How, I was thinking about, you know, like the state of West Virginia, I don't know who it is, they have a Fauci, you know, a doctor.
Yeah.
That's instructing the governor. An unelected official is dictating how we live. And, you know, we have one federally, the Fauci, which should be fired, but, you know, the Antichrist be a big deal for people to say, yeah, they're right. We go ahead and take that mark of the beast. We need to eat. We need to, we got to go to work. I got to take care of my family. When you're left behind, that's what you're going to be left with. And it's all.
What's all kind of training thing now?
It's like I said, it's ingrained. It's ingrained, even if it's 20 years down the road. They're going to say, look back, look back. We did that. We can do that again. We can do that. I like this. It says, and unto the elders tarry ye here for us, until we come again unto you, and behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. Now, next week, you're going to read about Brother Aaron. But these are supposed to be left to help the people.
Well, they were sent before
Sent before
they
that.
went to that mount
Right.
and experienced what they experienced just last week.
Right.
They were supposed to be overseers of the
Wisdom,
tribes.
spiritual men,
Yeah, they're
leaders. And next week, we're going to see what transpires. Jesus was crucified, on the cross, and he was resurrected. He left in the book of Acts in the first chapter. And ever since, there's been all kinds. You just read Paul's epistle about false worship, idol worship, even right after. So there's always been, why? Because of sin. The devil, the people, we have a sin nature. And they wasn't going to church, Sunday school. They were following pagan practices. And, Paul, writes his epistles. Just a few years after that, he's trying to, setting up these churches, trying to get it out. And it's here today. It's the same. Nothing has changed. People have not changed. Sin is still out there. In the days of Moses, we're going to read about a sinful nature. Even these people, we could say, I didn't see the Red Sea crossing. I didn't see those 10 plagues. They did. They had first-hand knowledge of, physical. They had physical seen and heard, and they see this black cloud hanging over the mountain, burning it. They see that. And next week we'll see how they react to it.
What kind of buffaloes me is, I know this is in a lesson or two ahead, but when they asked Aaron to make the golden calf, or make them other gods, they said, we don't know what happened to Moses. Why don't they go check? Why doesn't he go find it?
Somebody else allowed to go over
They
there.
decided.
Well, yeah, but they wasn't allowed to make a golden calf neither. So, yeah. I said they wasn't allowed to make it a golden calf neither. So, they really wasn't obeying what God said anyway. So,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
know, they tried to see back.
yeah, before I make a golden calf.
Maybe they didn't want to.
I think they never wanted to do
I think they were afraid.
They had a fear to go by the mountain. They seen what was going on.
They seen what was going on.
They see
Yeah, it says that, it says the cloud covered out, I like the vision. I'm thinking lightning, that cloud, you got gods in it, anything it's more just a
Yeah,
cloud.
yeah.
Right.
I think Mickey said that, what is the top of the mountain's burned up?
Yeah, I Googled it, I looked it up on YouTube this morning. You can just punch in on YouTube, Mount Sinai, and there's 5, 6 different videos. You can see, Ron Light went up there. This other couple was this guy was an oil engineer over there back in the 70s. He found it. He went up there. He documented it. The whole mountain is just black. There's no weeds. Nothing is up there. It is charred rock, black. Because of what? Because what we're going to read here. It says, Moses went up to the mount, and a cloud covered the mount. glory of the Lord, that's what was happening to it. The glory of the Lord abode upon Mount Sinai. And the cloud covered it 6 days, and the seventh day he called unto Moses out of the midst of the cloud. And you think Moses, and Joshua was up there. But Joshua couldn't go. Moses was called in after 6 days he had to wait. The ark, the door was open 6 days. God shut it. 40 days he was up on a hill. There's certain numbers and facts that continue in the Bible. God is a God of detail. He's not forgetful and willy-nilly and all that, He's of detail. He's holy, we just read, and he created, you look at, we're all different, but we all have what? DNA. We all have the same makeup in our body. 2 lungs, kidneys, eyeballs, it's all detail, created, no Big Bang. It's all created by God. I just can't imagine sitting out there 6 days with no food.
You didn't have food for the 40 days.
No.
God supplied his needs.
Sure, but Earthman Mickey wants some food.
But I was wondering about, there's not so much room for food in your house.
You reckon God supplied his needs also, him waiting on Moses?
Sure.
I guess
Sure.
it don't say that, but
Well, does it say they didn't have food, or?
Well,
It said the Lord supernaturally sustained.
well, yeah. That's another miracle.
That's what I need, maybe it won't put anything on this.
It says, in the sight of the glory of the Lord was like a devouring fire on top of the mountain, in the eyes of the children of Israel. Now they could see this. They could see it. And like I said, that mountaintop is black. It's charred. And all the other rock down the valley and the other hills, it's not like that. It's just that top of that mountain where it is, looks like black granite. Where it's been heated and transformed into another type of rock from a devouring fire on top of the mountain in the eyes of the children of Israel. They had a witness. It says, and Moses went into the midst of the cloud and gat him up into the mount, and Moses was in the mount for 40 days and 40 nights. Man, Mickey wants some food. But we can read about Jesus. He went into the desert for 40 days. Was tempted 3 times. He paid, he was tempted in all ways. We look, we walk, we got our own problems. That was a long time ago. Jesus knows. He knows. He experienced pain. He experienced death. He experienced beatings. He was rejected by his own people. He experienced everything we go through in life today. He knows. In our golden, in our text here, it says the writer of Hebrews reminds us that our God is a consuming fire, and have pointed out that we have received a kingdom that cannot be moved. Verse 28. And he urges, let us have grace whereby we may serve God acceptably with reverence and godly fear. God is holy, totally separate, and without sin. God didn't need saved. We did. We don't serve a dead God. He's not a created God. God is God. look at, well, you know, why God allows, He's God. He's God, you know. We have to have that perspective because we live in a sin-cursed world where there's evil present all the time. In the church and out of the church. We know that for a fact. We know that if you've been a Christian for a few years, we've all seen it. We've all seen it. It says a believer need never fear anything or anyone except God. And this is to be a godly fear. A godly fear recognizes that the Lord is sovereign and that can do whatever He pleases. A lot of people have a problem with that. You know, a lot of people have a problem with Him being sovereign.
A lot of people had a problem with that in Revelation, didn't they?
Right.
They being in control. They didn't want him to be in control. They wanted to be in control.
Right. Well, fire and brimstone and 100-pound ice is falling and the sky is, you know, the sun refusing to shine. What do? They curse God. They didn't ask for forgiveness. They cursed God. And it's in the future, but if we can see it, because people today, they curse God today. I mean, today is a fall day, and four-wheelers and side-by-sides are out and about. I mean, they're out. I went to work last Sunday over at Genoa at the grade school. The parking lot was just full of trucks and trailers. I mean, pleasure is abound in Wayne County but there's no God. Very few, no God. This is concluding the lesson. This is what a compelling sight for the people of Israel. They had seen many gods in Egypt. These were idols made by human hands and not by miraculous in any way. Now God had shown them something of Himself. You just think about that. They came from a pagan land where they had, you know, the calf and all the other. Those 10 plagues all represented attacking their gods. Those 10 plagues was just not random plagues. It was attacking Egyptian gods who they worshiped. You know, so God is a God of detail. He knows. He knows if you're, you know, who's on His team. You know, there's no mystery to that. You know, we don't know. Good people can be a good person, but God knows. God knows who's on His team. You know, people go, well, that's not right. You know, God is sovereign. You know, He knows the heart, the mind. He knows the believer, and He knows who is the non-believer. What does He say in His book? You know, you'll come before me and what? I prophesied, I did many great works. You know, what's He say? Depart from me. I never knew you. He actually called him a worker of iniquity. So if you're a worker, you're actually doing something against God. You're a worker of iniquity. You're actually working against God. You know, instead of working for God, they were working against God. And it's not changed. It's why hasn't it changed? Is because of humans. We have a sin nature, and the only remedy is Jesus. I mean, otherwise we'll be just like these people next week. You know, instead of building a calf, well, I mean, a lot of churches already done it, shut down, parked it, turned the lights off. See you when COVID's over, maybe. And a lot of churches have done it. And not in California, locally. Like Darren said, you know, it's local. We don't have to go, to the West Coast to find it. It's here. I think, David Jeremiah, he has no background. He's still, we watched him this morning, he's still a,
We's in California though, I
Right.
mean, they fight against that constantly over there.
John MacArthur, they have,
They've raked him through the coals, ain't they?
he got, his last ruling was for him, he's, I think 6 times he's been in court. Only one time they ruled against him, then the last time, you know, they ruled in his favor. And then they were talking about he had 6,000 people, massive outbreak in his church. They had 3 the whole time. But they want to, you know, close it down, there's 3.
Yeah, they wanna put the blame on
Right,
that.
right. You know, out of 6,000, 3. And, you know, this is just, you know, the devil wants it.
It's the devil's work.
Shut down, close the book, put it down in the, put it in the basement in the temple. You think how sad that in the temple, the book was in the temple, but it was in the basement, down, locked up. They didn't even know they had money. It was, I mean, they didn't go look for the book, because where the book was is where the money was.
It won't happen in this day and age.
Yeah, yeah.
With a car.
But now, you know, but that's like Paul had said, you know, you don't, people, they come to church because they don't have to hear the word. That's why they come to church. Paul said that they were coming to church in Corinth because they was having dinners. That's why he said, if you come to the Lord's house, you don't come to eat. That's done elsewhere, you know. That's not what the Lord's Supper's about, you know.
Write a chapter.
Yeah. But they was coming for a feast. You know, and that's why people, I feel, you know, and this is all my opinion now, they attend, yes, they attend these churches and stuff like that, you know, because
Homecoming jumpers.